Okay, one last thought on prayer. Why pray? Before I move on to the next subject. So the question can be like this. If God already knows what's going to happen, then what's the point in praying? And the answer is this. There's a huge point in praying, because even though God knows, and he could even foreordain what history is going to roll out, why we pray is because we're part of that history, right? So history could unfold in a way that we don't pray, and that would be, of course, one path. But it could also unfold in the history where we do pray. Okay, now God knows which one it is, and we don't. And so those are two different courses of history that could unfold, and God knows what they are, we don't. So it's much better to pray and be on that path of a history that includes us praying than it is the one that doesn't. And so our prayers actually do affect that history that rolls out, even though God already knows which one is actually going to unfold. So we don't, so we pray. And we pray asking for not our will, but God's will. Because oftentimes what we pray for may seem right at the time, and God always answers prayer. He says yes sometimes, he says no sometimes, and sometimes his answer is silence. And so we, in our faith, we trust in the wisdom of God to answer our prayers according to his will and not ours. And we actually pray that not my will, but your will be done, because we know that his will is best. And how often have we looked back and said, Lord, thank you for not answering the prayer that I was like so adamant about, because in retrospect, that would have been a terrible thing. And thank you for leading me in a path that was different than what I wanted, but it ended up being much better. So God knows what's best. We pray as best as we can towards that, and leave the results to God. That is a source of contentment and joy. When we can release the results to God, knowing he's a good, loving God, his ways are best. He will take every situation, and as long as we trust in him, he will work it for good. And that way the burden isn't on us to have it all figured out, to always make the right decision. We trust in him. Okay.